Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Give in to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Hear ye, Taslim when you see me. Kick back, detach and scratch. Relax your mind, let your akal free. Be down with the sound of AYYTP. AYYTP, yeah you know me. I'm Yum Yum, the podcast, the hockey's what we broadcast. Dawa to your ear, hot and ready like a DoorDash or Uber Eats. Lab mushkilab, my treat, cool. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Give in to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Random topics, you stop, watch, we clock it. On to the next, what's poppin'? Red and Baka. Some vital issue, take it personal, then it is you. Just make dua to Allah that He fix you. Whomever He guides, none can lead astray. But if He don't, there's no way, not today. Last not least, the Muslim head shake. It's time to rise up awake. Our ummah's at stake, y'all. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Give in to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Give in to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Hear ye, Taslim when you see me. Kick back, detach and scratch. Relax your mind, let your akal free. Be down with the sound of AYYTP. AYYTP, yeah you know me. I'm Yum Yum, the podcast, the hockey's what we broadcast. Dawa to your ear, hot and ready like a DoorDash or Uber Eats. Lab mushkilab, my treat, cool. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Give in to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Random topics, you stop, watch, we clock it. On to the next, what's poppin'? Red and Baka. Some vital issue, take it personal, then it is you. Just make dua to Allah that He fix you. Whomever He guides, none can lead astray. But if He don't, there's no way, not today. Last not least, the Muslim head shake. It's time to rise up awake. Our ummah's at stake, y'all. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Give in to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Give in to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Hear ye, Taslim when you see me. Kick back, detach and scratch. Relax your mind, let your akal free. Be down with the sound of AYYTP. AYYTP, yeah you know me. I'm Yum Yum, the podcast, the hockey's what we broadcast. Dawa to your ear, hot and ready like a DoorDash or Uber Eats. Lab mushkilab, my treat, cool. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Give in to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Random topics, you stop, watch, we clock it. On to the next, what's poppin'? Red and Baka. Some vital issue, take it personal, then it is you. Just make dua to Allah that He fix you. Whomever He guides, none can lead astray. But if He don't, there's no way, not today. Last not least, the Muslim head shake. It's time to rise up awake. Our ummah's at stake, y'all. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Give in to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Give in to see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a goofy t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah I mean. Hear ye, Taslim when you see me. Kick back, detach, and scratch. Relax your mind, let your akal free. Be down with the sound of AYYTP. AYYTP, yeah, you know me. I'm Yum Yum, the podcast, the hockey's what we broadcast. Dawa to your ear, hot and ready like a DoorDash or Uber Eats. Lab mushkilab, my treat, cool. Now who's your favorite uncle in the dean? Giving the see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a Kufi t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah, I mean. Random topics, you stop, watch, we clock it. On to the next, what's poppin'? Red and Baka. Some vital issue, take it personal, then it is you. Just make dua to Allah that He fix you. Whomever He guides, none can lead astray. But if He don't, there's no way, not today. Last not least, the Muslim head shake. It's time to rise up awake. Our ummah's at stake, y'all. Now who's your favorite uncle in the deen? Giving the see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a Kufi t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah, I mean. Now who's your favorite uncle in the deen? Giving the see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a Kufi t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah, I mean. Hear ye, Taslim when you see me. Kick back, detach, and scratch. Relax your mind, let your akal free. Be down with the sound of AYYTP. AYYTP, yeah, you know me. I'm Yum Yum, the podcast, the hockey's what we broadcast. Dawa to your ear, hot and ready like a DoorDash or Uber Eats. Lab mushkilab, my treat, cool. Now who's your favorite uncle in the deen? Giving the see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a Kufi t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah, I mean. Random topics, you stop, watch, we clock it. On to the next, what's poppin'? Red and Baka. Some vital issue, take it personal, then it is you. Just make dua to Allah that He fix you. Whomever He guides, none can lead astray. But if He don't, there's no way, not today. Last not least, the Muslim head shake. It's time to rise up awake. Our ummah's at stake, y'all. Now who's your favorite uncle in the deen? Giving the see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a Kufi t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah, I mean. Now who's your favorite uncle in the deen? Giving the see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a Kufi t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah, I mean. Hear ye, Taslim when you see me. Kick back, detach, and scratch. Relax your mind, let your akal free. Be down with the sound of AYYTP. AYYTP, yeah, you know me. I'm Yum Yum, the podcast, the hockey's what we broadcast. Dawa to your ear, hot and ready like a DoorDash or Uber Eats. Lab mushkilab, my treat, cool. Now who's your favorite uncle in the deen? Giving the see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a Kufi t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah, I mean. Random topics, you stop, watch, we clock it. On to the next, what's poppin'? Red and Baka. Some vital issue, take it personal, then it is you. Just make dua to Allah that He fix you. Whomever He guides, none can lead astray. But if He don't, there's no way, not today. Last not least, the Muslim head shake. It's time to rise up awake. Our ummah's at stake, y'all. Now who's your favorite uncle in the deen? Giving the see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a Kufi t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah, I mean. Now who's your favorite uncle in the deen? Giving the see how every time he's on the scene. My rock a Kufi t-shirt and some jeans. The podcast is in effect, yeah, I mean. Hear ye, Taslim when you see me.
Disclaimer?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Yes, put the disclaimer.
Assalamu alaikum, ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to Yum Yum, the podcast. where we seek to cure the kufr infected by injecting the Islamic perspective. Today we have with us again our IT guy.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
We imported him from Bangladesh.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's better. That's better.
Yeah. So
that could be anything.
This is Amu Yusuf. And back again by popular demand, Amu Jawaza, aka Jawaz, aka OG, aka Eye Candy.
Oh man, you can't just look. He's even saying stop it, but he's looking at me, not at you. Come on, man. Don't make him look at me, man. I didn't say that.
I'm not gonna say any names, but a certain sister. Like, ooh. I say, Lord, you're gay. Lord, you're gay.
Yeah.
Disclaimer?
It was there.
We disclaim?
Yeah.
Okay, then it has been disclaimed.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. Anyway, so.
Hey, tell me this. Why did you pick this topic for today?
Theme bars. No matter what he said.
Yeah.
Theme bars. Give your criticism. I know one brother said, random.
Yeah.
One brother said that Muslims know the position on music and stuff like that, and they continue to do it. And he was talking about artists, famous, mainstream artists, I guess he was talking about, and things like that. But as we mentioned last time, we talked about this is all percussion. It's percussion-ish, percussion sounding, right? Yeah. So it's not actually the musical instruments, but it is indeed percussion. And some say we should limit ourselves to the duf, to the Arabic drum, which is Madaniya, is not Hadara, it's not from our culture. It's from Arab tradition. It's from their customs of their land or what have you. So anyway, if you think that percussion is haram, then we ask that we all be sincere. Because the people that may say, well, you all have music at the beginning of your podcast, which is all percussion. Yeah. Okay. And you can call the rap poetry if you wanted to, which is allowed. During the time of Rasulullah, they had poetry battles. They would battle. If you wrote your poetry down, you were not even considered. You were weak. Mm-hmm. They would go through long ballads of poetry, memorize and go on and freestyle even. Long ballads of poetry and actually battle each other. Okay. Yeah. So if the percussion bothers you, I apologize. Tune in after the countdown, because after it counts down, you can put it on mute. When it counts down, then we go live and we're just talking. We're not playing any music. But nevertheless, there's nothing wrong with percussion. And we know at times Muhammad Sallallahu would allow, like doing the Eids and Walima and stuff like that, he would allow the people that if their earth, contain music, he would allow it. Yeah, he would allow it. So that's one random. That's just random. So like I said, I don't want to turn you off if you think that music even containing percussion and lyrics is haram. Then I ask you to be sincere, because we've had experience with brothers that they were hardcore, going straight to heaven, no judgment, and they were almost in heaven.
I can say that, man. But I have to agree with you, because again, we're not trying to say this to kind of criticize you, but it's about the consistency, right?
Consistency.
Like when you say that, okay, whatever the Islamic opinion you follow, inshallah, right? You got to be consistent, because you can't say this is haram, then you watch movies. Yeah. Or go to a restaurant that has music, and you see you can actually control yourself. You can go to a different place that doesn't have those sort of things.
But don't go anywhere. Stay home.
Yeah, or don't watch all this movies, because movies has music all over the place, Yeah. So, but alhamdulillah, anyway, if you do follow that opinion, which is an Islamic opinion, that's fine, But no need to.
My issue was that the same people would listen to Drake.
Right.
So respectfully, I refuse to put wind or string sounding instruments in the theme song. I refuse to do it, because I didn't want to alienate a sector of the Muslims. Correct. I'm letting you all know that it's just percussion. It's not. Yeah. This is no wind or string sounding instruments. Although I can play a wind string instrument at gunpoint. Yeah. So alhamdulillah, that was random. Okay, now.
That was very random.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like random.
We had nothing planned.
Yeah, it's cool. You see, that's why sometimes in live you just go with the flow.
Yeah, a flow with the go.
A flow with the go. Yeah.
Okay. What's popping?
Have you heard that news about the Chechnyan Mufti that unfortunately kind of humiliated the.
That will come after.
No, that's wasn't the popping. Was it?
That's the shake.
Let's blame this guy.
That's the shaking. Yeah.
Shaking. Sorry about that.
What's popping
Yeah.
is the main topic. So we're gonna go. The topic is.
Oh yeah, that was my first question.
What happened?
What was the topic?
Okay,
Man, I didn't sleep enough today.
What's popping? Okay. This dude doesn't sleep. He doesn't sleep. Okay. When we imported him on the plane, it was like a 20. How long was the flight?
36 hours.
36 hours.
Unlimited hours.
When we imported him, it was 36-hour flight. He didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't sleep last night because I left him. I left you almost 1 o'clock.
It was like
No,
around
it was like
1:30. 1:30.
No, me. I left at 1.
No.
Don't get me in trouble.
I think it was like
Come on,
2.
yeah, man.
I think it was.
Say, fellas, look. Yep.
Oh, it was the 2 o'clock.
Fellas, you ever call your boy?
1:35. 1:39.
Yeah. Fellas, you ever call your boy? Assalamu alaikum. Man, can you please tell her where I was last night? I don't know. Oh, yeah, Allah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
man,
it gets
I
you, man.
like to troll, man. So.
Can you please tell her I was with you last night? With me? Whatever, nigga. Oh, yeah, you was with me. Like, that ain't cool.
But
man.
I did sleep though, a couple of hours, you know.
No.
Yeah.
I left him at 1 o'clock, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
Okay. He says he went to bed 2:30.
No, I left the place at 2.
So you went to bed at what time?
Maybe at 3.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah.
He gets up for Fajr, doesn't go back to sleep. Okay.
And I'm almost fresh.
Then he shows up here.
Yeah, it's called commitment.
No.
Right?
That's called need to be committed. Okay. What's popping is role play versus role reversal. And the male is not like the female. ليس الذكر كالأنثى.
Yes.
وليس الذكر
Yeah,
كالأنثى.
وليس الذكر كالأنثى. Yes.
Allah Ta'ala says in Quran, and the male is not like the female. Now let me set it up, okay? The father and mother of Maryam, alayhum as-salam, okay, alayha salam, Maryam, wanted a child. Now why? Because they didn't have any children, and they were up in age. They made dua to Allah Ta'ala to give us a child. Now, the intent behind the dua should have been more specific for a male child. Muhammad Sallallahu told us to be more specific. You know, even demanding in your dua. Even demanding. Don't be like, inshallah, if it pleases you. But ask, as if you're demanding.
Yeah.
So, instead of asking for a male child specifically, they asked for a child. So, why did they want a child? They wanted a child because to take up the duties of the masjid. To take up the duties of the masjid.
Yeah.
So they Allah Ta'ala knew why they wanted a child, but they didn't ask specifically for a male child. So Allah Ta'ala gave them Mary, right? The mother of Isa, alayhi salam. So the wife laughed. She said, "Oh Allah, but you have given me a female child." And Allah said, "I know very well what I've given you."
Yeah.
And Allah says, وَلَيْسَ ذَكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى, and the male is not like the female.
Yeah.
Now, this is very specific because the duties of the masjid are not for females. You so-called women imams, which is oxymoron, that are leading the masajid and so on and so forth, leading the salat, standing out in front of men, and everybody behind you is sus.
Big sus.
Every man behind a woman leading salat is hella sus.
Yeah.
And I can say that.
Yeah. It's like they don't have ghira to be among other women.
Well,
Maybe those women don't have a ghira either. Or maybe they, you know what? When I heard that for the first time, I was like, yeah, let's go check it out.
yeah.
I just, as a man.
A brother said, he said, man, we should visit that masjid. I said, yeah, after all, they want to need somebody to lead the salat. They have nobody to lead the salat. I am all alone, all by myself. Say, did you hear the woman recite? She had a beautiful recitation.
Yeah.
But she also did the English. She said, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. That's my woman voice. She says,
So
in
womanly.
the name of God. Yeah, she did the English translation right afterwards.
Like recited.
In the salah.
What is this?
So they bid down on the imam.
Yeah.
They bid down on the recitation.
Astaghfirullah, man.
They bid down on the. I ain't gonna say that, boy.
Yeah. Don't even go there. This is a.
I'm not gonna say that, boy.
This is G-rated show.
So anyway, the male is not like the female. So we thought this topic will be important because they did a study. Remember, the intent was to have someone take up the priestly duties. I say priestly in the Islamic sense, meaning the imamate type duties in the temple, as they call it at that time, the masjid, okay? The house of Allah, the Bayt Allah. So that was the intent. Allah gave him a female child. Allah knew that he would bring forth from that Isa alayhi salam, by mu'jiza, by miracle, okay? So anyway, the point is that Maryam alayhi salam could not handle those duties by Allah, because the male is not like the female. So what you find is that when you have women taking on the men's role, okay, or men taking on the women's role, you have nushuz, you have nashaza automatically. On the streets they call it doing too much or doing the most, and that's exactly what we have.
Yeah.
So the male is not like the female. But how do you all feel about this push these days for gender equality?
I mean, I think, I don't know, go ahead, Akhi.
For me, it just really collapses the complementary role of the genders, of the sex, of the different sex or whatever. That just completely collapsed when there's when you bring equality, so-called equality between the two or whatever. Mm-hmm. The outcome of that collapse is disastrous. I mean, you see it in the relationships between the husband and wife, and all the other relationships in the society or whatever. You see the outcome from it or whatever, and you see the fabric of society or whatever. It just expands out, from those two to out from there, and from out from there, to all the other relationships, in the wider society. You see it or whatever, and it's just a very unfortunate thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm. What they did a study long ago, still relevant today. Yeah. I'm sure they're still studying this phenomenon, but maybe these studies are not as well funded because the push is to make men and women the same. Yeah. Okay. Muhammad Sallam said one of the signs of Judgment Day or the end of times is that you will not be able to tell the male from the female. Yeah. And we experienced this. A sister posted. I don't think a brother did, but a sister posted. There was 4 or 5 surgically maneuvered guys that looked like women. And they were, buxom and vivacious and I can't say that word.
You're gonna get canceled, man. Facebook's gonna shut us down.
So they look like women with size 13 feet.
No,
and big hands. We are so sexy. So
that's how they sounded.
Yeah. We are so sexy. I am a woman.
Yeah.
You're making me angry.
Ooh yeah.
So anyways, so this is a picture, right? Like 4 or 5 of them. And they're dressed in body dresses and stuff like that. And the sister put a caption, "You brothers better be careful out here today." Well, first of all, saying brothers, we know, the Muslims are brothers. Yeah. And sisters to one another. So I took it as meaning you Muslims need to be careful out here today. But first of all, who's going to approach that? No. Who's in danger of falling into that trap? No. Right. Because
oh man,
the peanuts is a dead giveaway.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But, hey, no. Stop it.
Okay.
Stop it, man.
Okay.
Don't even go there because we know this one guy he's gonna imagine. He's watching it. He's gonna imagine this.
I am you. Yeah. And you are me.
No. You don't want him to imagine, man. He's probably watching right now.
Yeah. I am you and you are me. Say,
but how do you get past the wali though? The sisters wanting, brothers to be careful.
Yeah.
Well, that's a witness. Probably their environment, they probably.
What Major was talking about, the equality situation, right? There's another topic. It's not a topic. He can probably say if it's correct or not, which is the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Because Islam is a patriarchy, which means the man leads and the woman follow, right? When we talk about how, subhanAllah, how the man and woman, I don't like the statement complete. I don't agree with that statement. I would say the man and woman can complement each other, right? You have the man that leads, that needs the nurturing of the woman, and the woman need to be led, right? But nowadays, if you speak like that, or you're a misogynist, or you are like, what do you mean? I mean, even the concept of so-called independence is not really independence. What they're trying to say is like independent of men.
Yeah.
Makes
It's
sense?
the same with the flags of our Muslim countries.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
These flags represent independence from Islam, independence from the Sharia of Allah Ta'ala, independence from the obligation of zakat to the Mir Mu'mineen in the Khilaf, the Bayt al-Mal. It represents independence from having to obey Allah Ta'ala and His Messenger.
Yeah, and what's crazy, like you were saying, is that, I mean, we're talking about basic of biology from the elementary school, right? They're even denying that.
Yeah.
Like biology, they're saying it's not the same.
They say there's no biological difference. And as I mentioned, if you found a dead, decayed body with only bones and hair follicles, they are able to take that dead body, do some testing, and say this is a such and such race, nationality, female or male, approximately this how many years old, died of this, suffered from this. They can take that from decayed bones and hair follicles. They know if it's a male or a female, age, nationality, so on and so forth. But they say there's no biological difference. There's a double and a bubble.
Yeah. Translation.
Double bubble.
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't know if you saw this, Muhammad Hijab was talking to these folks that they call themselves gender fluid. So he was asking.
Another one?
It wasn't the Heidi part. It was Heidi part.
More of them?
Yeah. So he was talking to her, and she was saying that I'm gender fluid. He said, "What does that mean?" He said, "Sometimes I feel like a man." Then he said, "What does that mean?"
Yeah.
Like me, for example, I'm not a woman. I don't know what women feels through biological stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I honestly, as a father, I mean, even if I teach my daughter, I cannot tell my daughter to be a woman because I don't know what does woman mean. She needs the mother or aunt or somebody else to explain.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because in Mecca, I remember back in Mecca, like when I used to hang with my dad, Allah yarhamu, and his friends and stuff like that, all the neighborhood kids, we hang out with uncles and dads and male friends, and we learn from them about what does it mean to be a man. And of course, the sister or the girls, they hang out with the khala, with the amma, with the aunt, and all that. That's the structure. But now when you talk about equality and 50-50, it just makes no sense because a ship cannot, you can have a ship without a captain, right? Now you have these women that says about equality, 50-50 at home, no, you cannot be the boss of the home, but the same ladies work at companies and their boss, in most cases, are male, in some cases are female, so you're going to obey the boss at work, but when you come home, you don't want to obey your husband or that kind of stuff. So it's causing a lot of confusion, and I think the educational system, even in the West, they not just promote, they actually indoctrinate with this idea from elementary all the way to colleges about this concept of, because somebody say, for example, I'm not a feminist, but you know what? Like the saying goes, if the camel walk like a camel,
talk like a camel,
walk like a duck, laugh like a camel,
talk like a duck.
You are a duck, right? Or you're a camel.
There are no ducks in Mecca.
Yeah, of course. So it's all camels.
So we forgive them.
Yeah, thank you. So the thing is, some people claim they are not, but from their actions, from their statements, from their behavior, it looks like you have those concepts. So that's why you have to go back to the Aqidah, you have to go back to Islam and start reevaluating, are my ideas based on the deen or is it based on these other so-called ideological stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they said Dakaru Kalunda.
Yes.
The male is not like the female. I think it was Plato. I heard it was Plato that said it. I'm not sure if it was Plato or not. He had a reputation of being biased against women. Well, a lot of those European philosophers and stuff like that, they preferred they preferred the same team.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, he had a reputation of being biased toward women. But we take haq where we find it.
Yeah.
We take haq where we find it. Okay. We don't take deen where we find it. We take haq where we find it. Okay. So he said to make women equal to men is to make women superior.
Yeah.
Many of them argue that women are naturally superior to us in many different aspects.
Yeah, different aspect, yes.
And then Allah Ta'ala tells us how we are qawamin ala nisa. You know what I'm saying? We are governors, protectors of the women. Why? Allah says He gave us more strength. It is biologically, through pure physics, we are stronger than women. Upper body, so on and so forth, stronger than women. Okay? Also, Allah gave us the duty to protect. Like I mentioned, I was discussing with my wife. You know, I said, hey, if there's a noise outside, who goes outside?
Yeah.
She said, you.
Yeah.
I said, but if we gonna do equality, I said, why don't you go outside sometimes? She said, I'm not going out there.
Yeah.
You know, she says your job every single time. So we understand that there are differences in quote unquote gender roles, even though people are trying to destroy the concept of gender. So they say to make women equal to men is to make them superior.
Yeah.
Now I like to use this, and I promise you all this. Okay, so you have the man and you have the woman in certain aspects, right?
Yeah.
Then in certain other aspects, you have the women and you have the men above us in certain aspects. Okay.
Yeah.
When you try to bring women up to the level of men, what do you do? First of all, you take your cues from men.
Yeah.
When a woman says, "I am progressive, I am equal," who is she taking her cues from?
Yeah.
Actual men. When you said the boys hung around the uncles,
Yeah.
and the girls hung around the aunts, okay?
Yeah.
They're taking their cues from their own folk.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Women, when they want to become equal with men, they take their cues from actual men. So they judge income, they judge a job description, they judge all this. I want to be equal to a man. But just as Louis C.K. said, he said, there are no feminists in the burning building.
That's a good point.
He said, why on the Titanic, women and children first and nobody complained? Yeah. Okay? He said, in a burning building, women would be curling their locks, talking about, the most masculine of women. They'll curl their locks and say, "Oh, I'm a woman, please let me out." You know, they want to get out of the burning building. Yeah. There are no feminists in a burning building. This is true. So anytime you want to make women equal to men, they have to sacrifice a lot of their traits that make them superior in order to come up to men. And what do you have to do to men to make them equal with women? You have to bring them down.
Yeah.
They have to relax their masculine, natural, protective, qualities that a man has. Yeah. You have to come down. Now they're equal, right? Now they're equal. Okay. Yeah. So what happens then? Like you said, the things that balance society, the things that make society go, or just obliterated. So now we have what? You can't separate the men from the women. Yeah.
It's really messed up. I mean, if you think about it, it's already happening anyway. Yeah. That's why. Have you heard of that word, gynocentric, or gynocentrism? So that basically means centered or concerned exclusively with women, taking a female or specifically a feminist point of view. So that's what they're pushing, not just in because social engineering, the culture shift. Right. It doesn't just happen like that. I mean, through Hollywood, through movies, through books, through media.
That's the test. That's the test market.
Yeah, that's how they do it. And unfortunately, this concept, this ideology, is also traveling worldwide, right? And it's causing a lot. If it was good, well, it wouldn't cause additional problems, right? So this is what's happening right now. Because if this is your nature, you got to stick to your nature, not mess with it. And it's funny how someone will say that I want the man to be like more vulnerable and emotional stuff. Okay. I understand men are emotional too, right? I mean, but the emotion is not the same like the woman's emotion. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because in men, we have this three concept, like, the men will behave based on instinct, rational, then emotion, right? But in the woman's case, they can be instinct, I don't people not like this, emotional, then rational.
Yeah, but women said themselves, I mean, there are women that are tapped in.
Yeah.
They're tapped into themselves. They know, they know themselves. They're not trying to be apologetic. They're not trying to shade the issue, shroud the issue in mysteria. Yeah. They'll actually say, look, we're like this, we're like that, we're like that. Men are like this, and I mean, you can't help but just gravitate toward them because they have an intellect that's really it's based on reality. Yeah. Their intellect is based on reality and not based on some fantasy or something that's trying to be promoted through Hollywood and through media.
Yeah, and it's, to be honest with you, it's a beautiful thing when you have like a man and woman different. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a beautiful thing. Man. But when we talk about this subject, they don't get it. Yeah. Not all of them. Some they don't get it. They think we're not attacking you. Look, we love women. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you have to understand that you cannot come across you know, like you said, in the same level, then what happens?
I'm gonna share something personal.
There you go.
My ex-wife. Okay. My boy's mom. Okay. And she told me one time. She said, "You scared me. You're supposed to be my protector, and you scared me."
Yeah.
I cried like a girl. I didn't cry like a man. I didn't go.
Hey, did the tear back?
I
Take the tear back. Take the tear back. Take it back. Take it back.
I was crying like, yeah.
Wow.
Sound like a child nursery. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, like she said, you're supposed to protect me.
Right.
And you scared me. I took that heavy, man.
Yeah.
You know, because that's a man's role. She used her feminine. Now why did I scare her? Because she was masculine. She was being really, I'm like, oh, nigga,
Oh my God.
What's up? You know what I'm saying? You know? But then when she said, look, hold on.
Yeah.
You just scared me.
Yeah.
Your job is to protect me. Don't scare me.
Right.
And I cried. I'm like, oh man, I'm failing Allah. I'm failing my deen. You know?
Yeah.
That's what hit me. You know what I'm saying? So when a woman uses her feminine, it balances a man's masculine. You can't match masculine with masculine.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Remember, I told y'all this old story. I did it live one time. How Abu Ahmed, we had a class later on that day, but that morning we were modeling the masjid because the water Tudinis, they had they had tubs for the women's wudu section. There were tubs, actual bathing tubs. They would make wudu in the tub. Mm-hmm. So I go back there, and there were 3 baby rats sitting in the tub.
Okay.
I said, oh man, rats. And I'm scared of rats. So I said, oh man, rats, subhanAllah. I said, all the Islamic alcohol, you know. So I see the rats.
Yeah.
I say, oh, cats. Because I seen cartoons.
Yeah.
So I went and I grabbed a cat. The cat used to hang around the masjid. And I took the cat. I say, look. And I let the cat go. The cat runs out. So I said, okay, perhaps the cat didn't see the rats. So I grabbed the cat again and I put it in the tub. I say, look at the rat.
That was an emasculated cat.
Man, I don't know what it was. I ain't even checked. I probably should have checked. But I knew cats like rats. So I put it in the tub. It jumped out and ran. So I say, you know.
Forget it.
Oh, cat.
Yeah.
Weak. You know,
weak cat.
Calling the cat all kind of names. Like, I think you were. So anyway, so I go in the projects. In the courts. I go get a hood cat. Cat sell drugs.
Hey, the Barbadu effect.
It's called a crack cat. So I got the crack cat, and I take the crack cat in the masjid, and I say, rats. And the cat jumped out and ran away. I said, oh man, the hood cat?
Yeah.
What's going on?
So later on, we had halakha, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. I said, oh Ahmed, something strange.
I have a dilemma with this cat. Yeah.
I grew up with Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
You know, specific roles for cats and rats.
Yes.
So I said, this is what happened. And Abu Ahmed, mashallah, so eloquent. He said, they didn't run. I said, what? He said, did the rats run? I said, no. He said, they must run. That triggers the instinct.
Oh, wow.
How do you calm down a man?
Yeah.
You can't go Philly on him.
Philly.
You can't go Philly on him. You ever been? No. So check it out though. So he said that the rats have to run.
Yeah.
That triggers the instinct in the cat.
Yeah. Subhanallah.
So I use this when I teach. You know, when I talk to my wives, my many wives. I talk to them. I tell them. I say, look, it's the instinct. I say, don't bring out the masculine.
Yeah.
I say, use your feminine. That's the balance. And that's what we're losing because they're trying to make the men like the women, and the law says the male is not like the female.
It's very unsexy when a woman is masculine.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm with another dude. You know what I mean? Ooh yeah. But the other disgusting part is when you have a brother who's like feminine.
Yeah.
Well, maybe somebody. I want to say the word feminine. Maybe some brothers are like nice, but when they act like
no, nice is not feminine.
Okay.
Nice is not necessarily feminine.
Okay.
Feminine is
Even the way they dress them.
Walk around with your auntie hips.
Yeah. Oh, we have all these like
banana bags.
Hey, have you seen some of those? What do you call it? I don't know how to describe this.
Is it the dip?
Yeah. Banana bags.
It's like I.
Yo, look, man.
We had one of the matches. We'll talk about this one day. Let's talk about how Magic Look got closed one day. But look, this dude is in the Magic. His name is Abdullah. I'll say his name. Because on the streets, well, I call him sugar cookies. But anyway, so Abdullah. Yeah. One of the best names you can have.
First one, the short guy. And now.
He had a banana back. He go, I. We be in the halakha. He was one responsible to help close the Magic. We'll talk about that one day. But we be in the halakha, and say, any questions?
Bro, he's gonna see this, you know.
No. Well, I was trying to say he was there. I tried to get him. Pause. I tried to not get him. I tried to box him one day.
He needs to be present to defend himself.
Yeah, defend. I defend myself. So anyway, so yeah, so this dude right here, that's feminine.
Yeah.
That's feminine. You know.
Oh,
yeah, but don't forget some of those tight jeans, guys.
Well, that's about population control, whether or not you know or not. That's about population control. We can talk about that too.
Yeah.
But okay, so when a woman seeks to act like a man, right? They call them stud. Stud is y'all. I don't even like saying that word.
Yeah,
that word is a male. That is a male horse that impregnates female horses in order to produce offspring. A stud, so-called woman, cannot produce anything unless a dude is introduced.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the only way she can produce. She has to go through the whole cycle of pregnancy.
Yeah.
She cannot impregnate anything. So like even that Megan Thee Stallion, I mean she's that girl can rap. She's nice. I mean she's nice with lyrics.
I never heard of.
And she's beautiful.
I don't want to either.
She's nice and she's beautiful, and she is a okay. She shows her dubber and bubber and badus and badas.
Oh man.
She's famous for badas. Famous. So anyway, so what happens is that when a woman has to take on a man role, they tend to overdo it. See, men are naturally masculine. We can even joke and make jokes. And men are naturally masculine. You know a man from a female, a male from a female. But when a woman tries to take on the role of a man, become quote unquote stud, they tend to overdo it. Okay? I'm at the mall. I'm walking through the mall, Riverson Mall downtown, right?
Yeah.
So I'm walking through the mall, and I see this there's a Spanish girl that lives by the masjid. She's like, hey, hey, Sadiq. I say, hey, how you doing? And this thing turned around and said, like the protection a man naturally has for his woman. Yeah. This thing turned around and did like this. I said, you are a girl. I said, I would mop this whole mall with you. I said, what are you bucking at me for? You're a woman, stay in a woman's place. Yeah. You know? I mean, it was just so strange. But on the other hand, when a man starts to pretend to be a woman or act like a woman, you know what happens to them? They overdo it. They do the most. A woman is naturally feminine. Even the tomboys we used to be in the treehouse with under the pool table. I'll talk about that later. Yeah. So even the tomboys, they are naturally girls. Yeah. Naturally girls, even though they climb in trees, they got the girl aspect. Yeah. Okay. When a guy seeks to act like a woman, they become what we call flaming or flamboyant. And they just do too much. And they're too strong. They got them shoulders. Yeah. And they run like really fast with the strong muscles, you know, and they tend to, they call it flaming. They tend to overdo it because why? It's not natural for you. If it was natural for you, you would naturally be like that.
Yeah, wasn't there a hadith about لعن الله المتشبهين من الرجال بالنساء والنساء بالرجال, which means Allah curses, you know, the men that imitate
the one imitate the man.
So subhanallah, I mean. But you see, the challenge right now, these sort of ideas, these sort of the social engineering and the culture shift, it's happening like everywhere, even in the masajid, indirectly. Like what do we mean by that? Like for example, when some of the sisters said, you know, we need to involve with the masjid, we need to, you know, have some sort of, you know, for sisters only sort of activity. That's fine, you know. But sometimes they go to a point that it becomes just
potluck.
Yeah, but it becomes an indirect way of like, is that necessary in the first place?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I'm not saying, I mean, yes, they don't come because the masajid or the Islamic Center is the place for Muslims to get together. That's actually good. They can study the deen. Like, you my brother, what's his name? Subhanallah, Rushdan, right? I don't know. You know, mashallah, his wife.
Indonesia.
Yeah, Indonesia, right? Mashallah, his wife used to teach the
Mashallah,
sisters the, the Quran, stuff like that. That's a good place to do, right? But I've noticed over the years that sometimes it becomes like, not for the deen issue, but more like gender.
Yeah.
Like, for example, every Muslim must have woman. Like, why? Like why there has to be woman? Like, why is it a necessity that every center must have some sort of woman involvement? Is that like a must? Are you trying to say because to build the Muslim family, the community? If that's the point, okay, alhamdulillah, we can go for it. But when they make an issue, oh no, it has to be this many percent male, this many percent woman. Now we're trying to take the same narrative of these society that says like every company must have this much women, this much men. And because the Me Too right now, did you know that companies like the managers and businesses, when they meet the opposite sex, now they don't do it in a private room.
Yeah.
They do it publicly or with a third person.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to get Me Too'd, for example.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to be very careful if you're going to do it for
You
sabilillah.
the imams are doing it too, though.
Like what?
The imams would not meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not doing it. They're like, man, look.
In fact, Brother Hanini, right? In
Yeah.
fact, he was advising the imams that because of all the situation, hey, if you're trying to help a sister, make sure outside the office, another person with you. Allah knows, man, what's going to happen, because nowadays, if woman says something, it's like, forget the facts. Just believe her.
When I sat with the Imam Muhammad over some marital issue I had,
Yeah.
I have so many. He had brother Abdurrahim and another sister actually in there too. Like it wasn't just me, my wife, and him.
Okay.
He actually had two more people besides that.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. But okay. Here's the issue. They did studies. Right? They did studies where women have to. They have to take on a masculine persona in order to do the job itself. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that job, this one study was, for instance, they use women correctional officers that are correctional officers in a male prison. I don't understand why that is, but that's America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to America. So they have to take on this masculine trait, in order to, and what they do, they overdo it. They write more people up. They're writing us, writing inmates up. They are yelling at inmates and ordering them around because they have to take on an even more masculine trait. Why? Because they're trying to pretend to be masculine. But the male officers just chill. They chilled and they're men. They're masculine, naturally.
Yeah.
But the female officers have to, y'all do
They
this.
have to prove
Y'all do that.
themselves. Like,
Yeah.
They have to prove themselves.
Yeah, you have to really, and they said after so long on these jobs, they tend to lose their feminine traits. And they said it affects the home, so don't blame me. These are Kufar that did this study.
Yeah.
They say it starts to affect the home where the woman starts to, stud up.
Home to husband.
Take it home to her husband.
Yeah.
Exactly. And speaking of kids, when women say, I'm the mother and the father, if you notice, if there's any type of corporal discipline, they go overboard. I've seen that. I've seen women that had children previously. I married them, a lot of them. Not a lot of them. Don't listen to him. So like you'll marry them and they said, I'm used to being the father and the mother. I said, you've never been the father.
Yeah.
You have no experience. You cannot. You have no examples of how to be a father.
Yeah.
I say concentrate on being the mother. I'll handle that other stuff. I'm saying. And what happens is that I've seen women spank kids, not necessarily my wives, but I've seen women in public, whatever, that had single mom. They made a lot of bad choices. Late night, 2 o'clock, like he hangs out.
Yeah.
And the spank.
Yeah.
They spank too hard. They hit too hard. They hit too much. The yelling. The yelling. I said, you're not just saying words. You're giving off energy to this child.
Yeah.
I said, don't talk to that child like that.
Right.
They're like, yeah, I'm a man, and I'm not going to yell at that child like that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, when a person say I'm the father and the mother, you're obscuring the gender roles, the natural roles, the nature that nature intended.
Yeah.
Natural roles, and what happens is that you do the most. It's called nashaza. You are rising above your station. You're doing too much.
Yeah, isn't the in the Quran the shoes?
Yeah.
The shoes also mean like the being like disobedient and troublemaker.
Yep, yep.
You know, that's why in
Yeah.
Islam says these are the three things that the husband can do. That's what the nashaza, the word comes in. And I don't know how can I relate my experience in the West because I was brought up in Mecca, so all the schools, boys with boys, and the girls school, right? It was
Which is actually proving that they actually learn more.
yes, yeah, and it was separate.
Yeah, they should prosper.
Yeah, and but how about this? Correct me on this one. This is the idea I was thinking about it, and I had a discussion with a couple of brothers that, like for example, nowadays, I think, I don't know, 70% or the 80% of the schools, whether it's Islamic or non-Islamic or government, the majority of the teachers are female, right?
Yeah.
So you have boys and girls in the class. So of course the female teacher can teach them compassion and love and all the other stuff. But what about the masculine part? How can you teach the boys to be strong boys? Don't you need like a male coach or?
Yeah.
In the 17, I mean,
Yeah.
I sound, for some people it sounds weird, but if you want to, like, add a lot of women at the school, you want to do 50-50, let them have 50% men or male teachers and 50% female teachers. But I think the boys need to be, even the word masculine, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, they interjected this
Toxic.
this oxymoronic
Toxic.
statement, toxic. Well, how can masculine be toxic? And they also, Dr. Sean T. Smith, he talked about how they interjected that term in the American Psychology Association.
Yeah.
And he was saying that this is not scientific, this is more like an ideology interjection.
Yeah, they've been influenced or pressured.
Yeah.
It's not about is it scientifically proven? They've been pressured. It's like gender dysphoria, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It was considered a mental illness. So they took it, they were pressured, they took it out of the psychology books,
Yeah.
and then what? They didn't explain it.
Right.
They didn't explain it. They just took it out because it was offending too many people.
Yeah.
So people are offended by hop. They're offended by truth. You know what I'm saying? What is your experience with this? Okay, women will say that a real man this and a real man that. What is your experience with that? It's always coming from women what a real man is.
Mm-hmm.
These are the same women that are raising sons single.
Mm-hmm.
What is your experience with that?
I've heard it. I've
And if they put it in a meme, it's true. So
yeah,
right. Put it in a meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This real man this, real man that. I don't know.
I mean, do you think sometime, because we talked about the ideological push, right? But do you also think it could be the upbringing, the family structure, because I was raised, alhamdulillah, mom and dad and my siblings, household, right? And all my friends are like that too,
Yeah.
But when I come to America, I see a lot of issues where, like, father's not in the picture, or mother's not in the picture, or there's some other problem that I don't know. Maybe it creates this generation of not having the mom and dad, good mom and dad, not just any, because sometimes parents doesn't mean they're always good parents, right?
Exactly.
Do you think sometimes because of that broken structure, maybe it's like perpetuating in just kind of a cycle, like producing the same problem over and over and over, right? So it's not just the ideas from school and college and media, but also where's your family background, where you at, and do you think that